Welcome back. Well, the summer is one of the busiest travel seasons of the year. There are still some deals to be found. Where can we find, though, the best deals? And what's the best place to look? With me is Peter Greenberg, travel expert. It's great to have you here.
Happy to be here.
So let's talk about it's June, and
I'm going to give you a surprise.
Okay.
There's no more seasonality. There's no more high season or low season because of factors that we had no control over, but we get to benefit from.
Okay.
It's a buyer's market out there. There have been airfare sales all year long. Airfares are actually down throughout the rest of this year. And the reason for that is threefold. One, the power of the U.S. dollar overseas against foreign currencies. Number two, the confusion and frustration that continues about Brexit. I'll explain that. And number three, actually the perception of America by so many foreign travelers that we're inhospitable, closed, and unwelcoming due to the perception of the current administration's immigration policy. Add to that the trade war. It's a win-win for travelers in this country. Why? Because the foreigners aren't coming in the numbers that they used to. China's down almost 8%, right? Europe is down about 4%. That means what would have been their return tickets home become our outbound tickets there. A lot of excess capacity, law of supply and demand kicks in, bingo, you win.
Wow. So I'll tell you, when I still look for plane tickets, though, they still seem expensive to me.
You know why? It's because of when you book.
Okay.
It's not about how, look, they do it on a sliding scale based on demand, right? So anybody who wants to book 333 days out, you're going to pay more money because the computer algorithms that the airlines use are not set up for that. They're set up to find out how many people traveled on June 15th last year between New York and Chicago on that flight, 2 years ago, and how many are they expecting this year?
Okay.
Well, when those numbers don't hold up 25 to 54 days out, that's when they adjust the fares down.
So 24, so about a month or so before flight.
Almost 2 months.
About 2 months, okay.
25, now that doesn't apply for the Wednesday before Thanksgiving or the Friday before the Super Bowl, but other than that, it's basic common sense.
Yeah, really interesting. Okay, now you and I talked a little bit about websites, apps, things like that. Do you have any you prefer? And I know you have kind of a different method. I have
not only a different method, a proven method. Most of the people watching this show make their reservations online, and you do too. Big mistake. You know why? Only 52% of what's available is online. Really? It's only what the travel providers want to make available. They're holding back 48%. So I know why we do it. We've been steered to do it. It's easy to do it in our bathrobe at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
We don't have to, God forbid, we should have a conversation with anybody. So while we're sitting there at 2 o'clock in the morning in our bathrobe, all happy and fat and lazy that we hit all the keystrokes, by doing that, we've automatically disenfranchised ourselves from 48% of what's out there. So here's the deal. I'm not telling people not to look online, not to research online, but it's not a Bible. Pick up the phone. What a conversation you could possibly have with another human being. Now, what they're seeing on their screen is not what you're seeing on your screen. And that applies not just to the fare, that applies to the route, that applies to the seat availability, and everything else. Not only that, the internet can't answer a single one of your questions.
Right, yeah.
Right? It only thinks in a linear way. So now, if you can find a better fare on the internet and you want to look at it as a commodity and you're only going between New York and Chicago for the rest of your life at 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, go with God, make love to a kiosk, have fun.
Okay.
But
I've been there.
Well, there you go. But other than that, please pick up the phone. When you learn things in a conversation, you get to apply them.
Well, I have found that some websites will have different flights than the airline website will have.
Because it's different inventory.
And I had no idea that they were only 48%.
Here's the other myth. How many times have you gone on a website saying only 2 tickets available at this fare?
That's right. Oh,
yeah,
tons.
That's only 2 tickets that the airline gave that website.
Okay.
That's not how many seats are available on the flight. Don't kid yourself.
Okay.
Pick up the phone.
So the bottom line is, don't believe everything you're seeing online and look for different sources.
You can't. Not only that, I know a number of people watching this are going to say, oh, but they're going to charge me $30 if I book through them. That is correct. But if I just saved you $500, even I who failed math can do that arithmetic.
You can save that much.
Of course.
Wow.
Look, let's say you want to go from Los Angeles to Hawaii. Every airline flies it, right? American, United, Delta, Alaska, Hawaiian, Southwest. Okay. If you go online, you'll see those flights there. Who's on those flights? Deranged newlywed couples,
Okay.
right? And you want to feel lonely, take that flight because you're the only person there not saying I love you.
Yeah.
Because, okay. But they price them accordingly, right? They're expensive flights. They're expensive even to redeem miles for those flights. However, what I learned in a conversation was to take the map, turn it on its head, And don't go LA, Hawaii, go LA, Phoenix, Hawaii, LA, Las Vegas, Hawaii, save $600. Now, if they want to charge you $30 for that experience, I'm gladly writing the check.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so where's your favorite place to go? You have a favorite?
I have a list, but my list is not a bucket list. My list is based on a different metric. It's where I sleep the best.
Where's that?
I have about 20 of them, right? And by the way, where you sleep the best is where you think the best. It's where you create the best, where you love the best, where you do everything the best when you sleep the best. And everybody has an answer for that. It could be your aunt's summer cottage when you were a kid. It could be, it could be in the middle of Times Square if you can deal with the noise.
Right.
It doesn't matter. So that's where I do it.
Yeah. So are there any particular, we talked about Bragg Hill a little bit before. It sounds like international trips are particularly good this year.
Not just this year, into next year as well. This is not going away anytime soon. When the rand in South Africa is 14 to the dollar, when the Argentinian peso gives you 7 times the buying power you had only 4 months ago. Oh my God. Now we're not talking about airfares or hotels. We're talking about basic goods and services. A taxi ride, a tube of toothpaste, a dinner on the town. That's what the locals pay. You can't lose. People should get on their plane right now and go to Buenos Aires and do their Christmas shopping now.
Okay. Any secrets about the time change, the jet lag? How do you deal with that?
Well, I can tell you what I do, but I can't tell you it's going to work for you. Okay? First of all, let's call airline food what it is. It's an oxymoron, right? Okay, that's number one. And then, so I don't eat it, right? No alcohol on the plane, because one glass of alcohol on the plane is worth 2.5 on the ground. And let's get real. Let's talk about dehydration. So that's not a good idea.
Right.
Now, here's what I do. If I want to sleep on the plane, I sleep on the plane. And I learned how to sleep on the tray table a long time ago, so I'm okay.
Okay.
If I want to work on the plane, watch a bad movie, whatever I want to do. I get up twice during the flight. I try to avoid being decapitated by the beverage cart, and I walk around, right? And then what really is the key here is what you do on the ground. When you land, no matter what time you land, no matter where you go, you must stay up till midnight local time. That means no heavy lunch, no afternoon nap. If you take a nap when you land, no one, including you, will see you for 3 days. It will not be there, right? And then at midnight, you go to sleep, you'll cycle. And you do the exact same thing when you come home.
Really?
And if that means no lunch, or go down the street, go to the park, shoot hoops, I don't care what you do, no nap.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Europe may be in my summer. We'll see. That sounds like an awesome trip. Thank you so much, Peter, for coming.
You got it.
Yes, and thank you as well for joining us. We'll be right back.